Hello everyone, and welcome back to Unbound Learners Pre-K. My name is Nina. What's your name? It's so nice to meet you. Are you ready to sing our good morning song together? Let's stretch our arms out like airplane wings and fly to one side, fly over to the other side, fly back to the middle, and now take your airplane wings and make a big circle out in front of you like this. Next, we're going to take the circle up over our heads and stretch to one side, stretch over to the other side, one last stretch up at the top, and we'll bring the circle back down and sing together. If you know the words, you can sing along with me. Good morning, dear earth. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear rocks and flowers everyone. Good morning, dear beast and birds in the trees. Good morning to you and good morning to me. Good morning everyone, and welcome to Circle Time. Now, before we get started with the calendar and weather chart, let's do 3 things quickly. First, we need to turn on our listening ears like this. The second thing that we need to do is put on our thinking hats. And the third and final thing that we need to do is warm up our hearts. Will you show me how to do that? That's right, friends. Boom, 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 boom. So now that we have our listening ears on, our thinking hats on, and our hearts are warmed up, it's time to move on to the calendar and weather chart. First, we're going to go over the date. So let's start off with the month. Do you remember what the month is? May. The month is May, and today is May 20th. I'm going to move the chip over from yesterday. Yesterday was May 19th, and today is May 20th. Right up here we have the year. You can say that the year is 2021, but you can also say that the year is 2021. Both ways are correct. Will you say the date with me one more time? Today is May 20th, 2021, or 2021. Friends, will you count to 20 with me? We are going to count the days that we've had so far in the month of May. So let's get our counting fingers ready. And let's also start off with a deep breath, like this. Now we're ready to count. Let's start off with the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. We counted 20 days in the month of May. And now it's time to hold up 7 fingers like this to sing the Days of the Week song. If you know the words, you can sing along with me. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And now let's go down to the bottom of the chart. This says that yesterday was what? Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. So that means that today is Thursday. And tomorrow will be Friday. Tomorrow will be Friday, the last day of the weekday. Will you sing Today is Thursday with me? It goes like this. Today is Thursday, today is Thursday, today is Thursday, all day long. Today is Thursday, today is Thursday, today is Thursday, all day long. And now let's go back up to the top of the chart, right up here where we have the season. What's the season right now? Spring! You're right, it's springtime where I live. And now we're going to travel back down to the bottom of the chart and sing the weather song together. Will you sing with me? What's the weather? What's the weather? Can you tell? Can you tell? Is the sun shining? Is the rain falling? Can you tell? Can you tell? So after a lot of warm, sunny days, it looks like the sun is hiding behind the clouds today. When I look outside of my window right now, I see a gray, white sky because it's pretty cloudy right now. It may rain later on today, but for now it's just cloudy, but it's still warm outside. That's why my temperature chart is on orange. Friends, what do you see when you look outside the window right now? Thanks for sharing with me. And now let's move on to the letter, the number, and the sign of the week. This week we've been talking all about this letter. Will you make the sound for me? Let's do that together. X, X. And do you remember what letter this is called? X. That's right. This is a lowercase x. X says X, X. Okay, friends, it's time to move on to the letter box. But what I have today is not inside of the box, and you'll see why in a minute. Here is your first clue. This is something that has the letter X at the end of the word. It's the last letter of this word. This is something that you do when you tighten your muscles together. Do you know what that's called? Flex. This is how I flex my muscles. Can I see you flex your strong muscles? That's right, friends. When you flex, you tighten your muscles. And flex ends with the letter X. This is how you write a lowercase x. One more time. Let's talk about this double-digit number. Do you remember what number this is? 24. When you write the number 24, you write two numbers. First you write the number 2, and then you write the number 4. 24. I have my piece of chalk, and if you'd like to, you can find something to write with as well, so that we can draw 24 tally marks together. But if not, you can just count them with me. Let's start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes across, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goes across, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 goes across, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 goes across, 21, 22, 23, and one more makes 24. 24 tally marks. And we have more to count inside of the box today. I have this dark piece of paper to put on top of the box because today we are going to be counting wood chips. And because the wood chips are the same color as the top of the box, they tend to camouflage. That means that they blend in and they get a little bit tricky to see. So when I put the dark piece of paper on top, you can count them and see them better. I'm going to make 2 rows of 10 wood chips, and then the extra wood chips will go at the bottom. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 row of 10. Let's start the next row with 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, and the last wood chip makes 24. 24 wood chips. So we've gone over the letter of the week, the number of the week, and next we have to go over the sign of the week. This week we have been practicing how to say farm in sign language. Will you show me how? That's right, friends. Farm. Today we're going to talk about 3 different types of food that are all grown differently but start from a farm. Now I think that it's important to know where these foods come from because today we are going to make a super simple sweet treat for our work later using those 3 different foods. So let's go over the ingredients and see where they come from. We'll start off with oatmeal. Oatmeal is a type of grain called an oat. The oats grow on tall grasses, and the seeds on top are the edible parts that we eat. Oats grow in large fields and are harvested with a combine, which is a type of a large farm machine. Before oats are brought to the stores, the outer shells have to be removed. This is called hulling. The next ingredient from our recipe is nut butter. I'll be using peanut butter. So peanut butter is made from peanuts that have been roasted and ground up until it's a smooth paste. Peanuts actually grow under the ground and are harvested with a digger. The digger removes the peanut plants from under the soil and then leaves them out to dry. Next, another machine called a shaker or a picker removes the peanuts from the shell. And the peanuts are then roasted and ground up into a creamy butter that you buy in the store. The final ingredient is a sweetener of your choice. I'll be using maple syrup. Maple syrup starts off inside of a maple tree as a clear liquid called sap. In the late winter and early spring, farmers tap their maple trees. This is when farmers drill a small hole in the tree trunk and put a tube that will run from the hole and into a bucket to collect the sap that comes out. Once enough sap is collected, it is then boiled until it becomes maple syrup. So now that we know where all the food from our recipe comes from, it's time to start cooking. For today's work, we are going to make a very simple sweet treat that doesn't require any baking at all. Earlier today, we talked about where oatmeal comes from, where maple syrup comes from, and where peanut butter comes from. So now that we know where those ingredients come from, I thought that we could use them in this very easy recipe. For today's work, you're going to need a cup of oatmeal, a sweetener of your choice. I'm going to be using 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup, and then you will need 2/3 of a cup of nut butter. I'm going to be using some peanut butter, and then it's optional to use flaxseed. So I have about 1/4 cup of flaxseed here. So I'm going to start off by adding 1 cup of oatmeal to the mixing bowl. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of flaxseed. Again, this is optional. Next, I need 2/3 of a cup of nut butter. So I'm using peanut butter. Right here I have 1/3 of a cup. So I have my spoon and I'm just going to Take a big spoonful out of the peanut butter jar. Let's see how much that is. Do another spoonful, should fill it up. There we go. So that's 1/3 of a cup. And I need 2/3 of a cup, so let's fill that up again. A little bit more. There we go. So 2/3 of a cup of peanut butter, but you can use any type of nut butter. And then a sweetener of your choice. So you can use sugar, you can use honey. I'm going to be using 1½ tablespoons of maple syrup. So this is 1/2 of a tablespoon right here. So I'm going to fill this up 3 times. Let's count together. Make sure that when you pour the maple syrup, it doesn't come out too quickly. 1, 2, one more, and 3. So that's 1½ tablespoons of maple syrup. And the final step is just to mix it all together. So like I said, this is a very simple recipe. I'm going to mix everything together. Make sure that the oatmeal is spread out evenly. Friends, I find that if I take the nut butter, if it's been in the refrigerator, and let it sit on the counter for a few minutes before I use it, it helps to just warm it up a little bit, and that makes it a little bit easier to mix. So before I did this work, I just left my jar of peanut butter out on the counter for a few minutes just to get it to room temperature, and I find that it's a little bit more smooth and easier to mix. Okay, so it looks like our ingredients are all mixed together. Next, you want to make sure that you have clean hands, because you're going to reach in to the bowl and just make little balls, almost like you're making little cookies, and just put them on a plate, on a baking sheet. You want to make sure that whatever you place them on are going to be able to fit into the refrigerator, because after you make all of the little balls, you're going to pop it into the refrigerator for 15 to 30 minutes just to let them cool and harden. And then you have a delicious, healthy snack to enjoy. Let's get back to circle time. Welcome back to circle time, friends. I hope that you enjoy eating the sweet treat that we made together. Thanks for learning with me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a big thumbs up, and be sure to find me on OutSchool for my live and interactive classes. You can also support my channel by checking out my Patreon page and gain access to bonus features for your child. Now it's time to sing our goodbye song together. So let's wave goodbye like this. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.